So with Office 365, you can access your email from any device. PC, it's Mac, it's Windows Phone, it's iPhone, it's Android, it's BlackBerry. It's pretty much anything that a web browser can run on. It's one inbox. If you deal with a mail on your phone, it's dealt with on everything that you use. If you send an email from your PC or from a web client in a hotel, that sent item is available from any of the machines that you use. You're only having to manage your mail once, which of course is a fantastic time saver, and it's all protected with the best-in-class virus and anti-spam. Microsoft have got what they call a multi-layer security system around that, so there are several filters for the antivirus so that you are as secure as you could hope to be. It uses a thing called SSL, which is the S in those websites when you go to check your bank account. So it's as secure as you could possibly hope to have. They also give you a huge mailbox. They give you 25 gigabytes of mail per person and the ability to send an attachment of 25 meg. Those phones can be a bit of an issue if you lose those, and again Office 365 helps you with that too. It allows you to wipe those phones, particularly if it's one that runs what they call active sync. You can wipe the phone if you do happen to leave it in a cafe, which of course does happen. With the latest version too, we get a new version of the Outlook web app, which is actually on the screen there in front of you, and that actually runs as well as full Outlook. I've got a couple of clients who actually just use this rather than using full Outlook because it is so good and so responsive, and that runs on most of the mainstream browsers, so Safari, Internet Explorer, Chrome, Firefox. So one of our clients, Dog Guru, used this to, as we mentioned, they use this to make their business tick. They're dog trainers, quite often students working part-time, using their machine they've got at home. They can be all sorts of different machines, Windows machines, Macs, old machines, new machines, and they're able to use this to make sure that all of their people are sharing calendars, sharing mail, and basically getting on with the job. In fact, Dog Guru won a business award on the base of their technology, so that was pretty neat. Most businesses are all about the people, and with Office 365, you can have access to the people you work with, so you can get answers much more quickly and get stuff done when you need it, when those deadlines are kind of approaching. What we're seeing here on the screen is a thing called Link, and that allows you to see more about people. You can see next to Karen Berg's name on the screen there's a little green box, and that's telling us her presence. If it's green, it says she's available. And so if I had a question for Karen, I could just bring her up, type in the question I've got for her, and she'd be able to see and respond to that straight away. Also, sometimes you can disappear out of the office and you don't necessarily have the contacts on your phone, and again, Link helps you to do all of that. One of the cool things that got introduced in the latest version of Office, and it works with Office 365, is a thing called co-authoring. And what you can see at the bottom of that screen is a note that says Ben Spain is editing this document. That's a second person using the same file at the same time. Again, very useful when you're trying to get a tender document or a proposal out right before it's due. 2 or 3 of you can work on the same file at the same time. You can see each other's changes as they happen, and collaborate genuinely to meet deadlines, to get files done, to have the best people doing the right work. It gets around that problem of emailing a file to a colleague and they're working on one version, you're working on a next, and some poor person has to try and work out what changes have to be brought together to make the master document up. And it also works offline. One of the things that the Microsoft solution does, and again a reason that we chose it, is it works offline. There's a tool called SharePoint Workspace which copies the files that you want onto your hard drive. You can then work on those offline, and when you next connect up, it magically joins them back together and does all the synchronization for you. The last feature here I'd like to talk about is a thing called version control. When you turn that on, it lets you go back to older versions of a file and see what changes were made. So for example, if you're working on a document and you open up a master file, you make some changes, then you save it, and then you have that oh heck moment when you realize you've just saved over the top of the master. Version control gives you that chance to undo that as well, which I have to say has saved my bacon on more than one occasion. So most busy people, I don't know how they get on without Exchange and Outlook. And with Office 365, it means you can now have the latest version of these. If you're like me, you've got lots of appointments in a day, and they can change throughout the day. In my case, my office manager took charge of that, and what she does is she can put things in my diary. She can see when I'm free. She puts them in my diary, and they magically appear on my laptop, my home PC, particularly on my cell phone, so I can see where I'm supposed to be and when I'm supposed to be there, when I'm free and when I'm not free. Any of my staff have access to that as well. And again, particularly in some of our professional services clients, the law firms, they find that feature particularly useful so that support staff are able to commit their professional people to wherever they need to be. Because the Outlook calendar syncs from anywhere, it's always up to date. So that phone is just syncing over the internet all of the time, so it's always current, always up to date. There is just simply one version of the truth. In our own business, we've got 15 techs out around Auckland all of the time, and we use this to tell them where we've committed them to. So, we want you to go to XYZ firm in Albany or ABC firm in Manukau, and they're able to get that sent to their phone as things change throughout the day. It is a tremendous lifesaver. In fact, there's a quick screenshot of how we book that, so we can see each person's calendar, and we're able to put time in their diary.